Hello everyone, Meghan's fans, not quite everyone. Backstage latest, honestly, until now, I still don't understand why there are still people defending Meghan and the former Prince Harry. What do you mean? Do you think betraying the country and defaming the family is okay? You don't appreciate other people's abilities. You accept stupid people running rampant everywhere. Have you read the news that Meghan likes to bully others? That's your ideal type. I really don't understand. As you know, the recent return to the public eye of the erstwhile royal couple, known as the Sussexes, Harry and Meghan, has prompted a great number of individuals to feel a variety of emotions and thoughts. It is easy to comprehend his reluctance to become overly involved in the situation, especially now that the news has begun to trickle back out, and you have learned the specifics of what transpired behind the scenes. The fact that he appeared to be entirely confused, disengaged, or lost, whatever you want to call it, did not bode well for the situation. Did it? As is always the case, other things are beginning to emerge at this time. This was a rather unpleasant experience, wasn't it? Indeed. Let's not forget the day when, of course, they introduced the "this was a rather unpleasant experience, wasn't it?" It is important to remember, of course, when they were invited to appear on the television broadcast Sunday with Harry and Meghan. The pair had themselves been through a severe personal catastrophe prior to their relationship. Moreover, I couldn't help but feel sorry for them because, of course, they had consented to be questioned. On the other hand, it is possible that when they were working behind the scenes, they were unaware that they were going to be positioned next to them on the set. It was something that nobody felt at all comfortable with. The appearance of Meghan herself was one of total disinterest, with occasional flashes of mirth. The question arises as to whether or not that was a poor edit, or whether or not that was genuinely what was going on. In either case, it was not a good appearance. On the other hand, according to that reliable source, it was quite challenging to locate individuals who were prepared to go on camera beside the Sussexes during the entire process. Honestly, if it were you, would you share something personal and private like this? If yes, comment number 1, and if no, comment number 2. You might argue that this is due to the fact that a lot of people had the feeling that, oh, you know, this is rather impressive. This is one of the most well-known couples in the entire globe. And there they are. Are you truly interested in sharing the awful event, as well as your own personal grief? There are a lot of people who discover it on digital platforms, and they do it anonymously with other groups that go through something similar. In addition, I completely comprehend that. However, in order to sit there on a national television program and recount your tale, which is quite emotional, it requires a great deal of personal strength and, of course, exposure to the media. This is something that a lot of people are not especially happy about. At that time, it was quite challenging to find somebody who was willing to carry out that task. As I mentioned earlier, according to a source who was in a very prominent position, it is not entirely clear to us whether or not CBS made any contributions to the charitable organizations of these particular spouses, or whether or not there were any personal payments made. Obviously, there would have been contractual agreements in place, such as non-disclosure agreements and other such agreements. Nevertheless, regardless of the circumstances, there was a distinct odor of marketing rather than genuine sincerity. In addition, as I mentioned earlier, this has been demonstrated by the fact that there have been bad ratings that have occurred. Now, my thoughts and prayers are with each and every one of those individuals. I think it was quite courageous of you to appear in front of the camera. On the other hand, rather than repeating once more the awful tragedy that Meghan experienced as a result of her own personal endeavors, I would have chosen to hear more of their experiences, as I am sure the majority of people would have. We were aware of that. Every single person felt sorry for her. It is very evident that this was neither the time nor the place. On the other hand, it is common knowledge that the entire show must revolve around a single individual. Not only that, but I believe that Harry also reaffirmed that in his appearance. We would like to extend our sincere best wishes to everyone else who was courageous enough and helpful enough to go on camera. We hope that everything goes well for you in the future. I am sure that everyone doesn't think any of her story is true. You can see it in her eyes. She's a liar because, too, I don't believe Meghan ever felt like unliving herself. I think she said that to get Harry under control because she looked perfectly happy at the Cirque du Soleil show at the Prince Albert Hall that evening. And he looked distraught. Her makeup was as perfect when she came out as when she went in. So that was a lie, that she was crying when the lights were not on her. And I heard on another channel that no one heard her crying at any time during the show. She is a liar. She's using Harry. I hope he wakes up soon and walks away to save himself. Certainly, Harry has some pretty damaging character flaws, with or without Meghan. He was no Prince Charming before her and was worse with her scheming. Drunken parties. Oh really? Or that's amazing, etc. She's so robotic. Yes, Meghan is an Egyptian sphinx. She challenges people to solve her riddle. If you get it wrong, she will eat you. In fact, Meghan doesn't care about perfection in anyone but herself. Perfection of an ability or whatever. How fraudulent is that? NDAs, absolutely disgusting that such a monster believes she has the privilege to challenge traumatized people. It makes one wince. Beyond obnoxious. Exactly, something was off about that whole interview. I felt sorry for those parents having to sit there with Meghan and Harry. Their message was overshadowed. Reminded me of the Invictus Games. The veterans were a second thought, as were the parents of these children. Allegedly, they will not donate to this project either. Honestly, I wish they would not associate with them, as it will not work in their favor. It does not bring them attention. It makes it look like they are seeking 15 mins of fame. Harry chose the wrong life partner, and it's made his life miserable, yet he is just as bad. Of course, I don't give Harry any slack. He was out to destroy his brother and father long before Meghan. Certainly, Meghan is not genuine. These parents are not stupid. They knew when Meghan walked on with all their cameras that they had been used. I suspect they did donate, otherwise, how did they get in the room? They were buying clout. Do you remember that they have allegedly promised other donations in the past, but the donations have not arrived, or they will take credit for others' donations? Of course, they want people to donate to their non-profit, as a certain amount can be used for expenses. I think they just love the partners in their grift. Partners do all the work, and the grifters take the accolades. The CBS interview was painful to watch. On one side, you saw a grieving couple who lost their son. On the other side were the Markles, totally disinterested and unengaged. At one point, Meghan glared at the wife. She wanted the spotlight on herself. What a hideous creature. I saw the look Meghan gave. The lady sitting next to her, Jane Pauley, should have stopped right there. In addition, Harry's expression, behavior, actions, and body language have been consistent over the last few years and range from petulant, sulky, disinterested, mental health expert, a campaigner to control free speech, social justice warrior, and even a legend in aviation. It's funny, she wanted to take her life and that of her unborn child according to what she says. That is a very scary thought and horrifying situation for Harry. Then to say that in front of grieving parents. I really don't get the purpose of her continuing to retell her story to the world. Her story really had nothing to do with a parent losing a child. Not only that, but she kept smiling when she was talking about suicide. Why would she think this would be a great idea for her brand? How disgusting of CBS execs to put them on a program with grieving parents just all about them again. If you look at this new charity they started, you see that they want parents to give them their stories and sign NDAs, and then the stories become the property for Archewell to do with what they want. It's bizarre how they are marching out grieving parents now. I feel really sorry for that couple. It looked like they were being used by Harry and Meghan for their own gain. It is disgusting that companies keep allowing this couple to grift on the grievances of families. I think we have been too kind to Meghan, as I don't believe there are many that believed her original story. We all agree, I think, that whatever is going on, she manages to make it about herself. And this is where and why the projects fail. Meghan alone is uninteresting, blunt, and insincere. It certainly shows that Harry is waking up and is uncomfortable because he wasn't brought up to take advantage like this. Those are my views. What do you think? Do you agree or have other thoughts? Don't hesitate to share in the comments section. I know that everyone will always look at the problem from many different aspects and angles. I always respect everyone. Thank you for watching my videos. Please support us by leaving lots of likes and shares and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again.